Beautiful ball fake and the pass.
And it's saved. 3 seconds left. Here's Van Exel. This is for the win. He got it.
Look at that. Left to right hand. He comes smiling back. He's got a bag of tricks, doesn't he?
Welcome back to Nick Van Exel's Greatest Games, where we go back in time and relive Nick's finest games of his career. In today's episode, we travel back in time to May the 10th, 2003, and Game 3 of the Western Conference semifinals between the Dallas Mavericks and Sacramento Kings. Played in Sacramento's Arco Arena, Nick would follow up a Game 2 36-point performance with a Game 3 and career playoff high 40-point performance. Sit back and enjoy as we take you back in time here on Van Exel TV.
In Game 2, Dirk and the Mavs exploded. It's Game 3, Sacktown, Kings are reloaded.
Yeah, with C-Web and Bobby Jackson banged up, Kings gotta come harder, give this game up.
The Mavs wanna score another 132. Who's gonna step up for the Kings and come through?
Can Dirk and Van Exel pull it off again? Well, they gotta come hard, cause Kings came to win.
Hard not to enjoy, Kevin, as we welcome you live inside the loud house of the league. Sold out for the 176th straight time. Arco Arena looking great tonight for Game 3 of the best of 7 Western Conference semifinal. The Dallas Mavericks, the Sacramento Kings, all square at one. Good evening, everyone, with Michelle Saboya, Tom Tolbert, Mike Tirico, NBA playoff record book at hand, just in case we have a game like we had in Game 2. What about the absence of Chris Webber? Your thought on the biggest impact on Sac?
Well, first of all, if you can't enjoy this game, find another sport. You won't enjoy this game. This is where it's at right here, Sacramento and Dallas. And with the loss of Chris Webber, two of the big guys are going to have to step up. Vlade Divac is one of those guys. He can pass, he can score. You look at what he did in Game 2. The numbers are going to have to be more reflective of what he did in Game 1, along with Keon Clark stepping his game up. But with this team, so many weapons, anybody's liable to step up and have a big game.
Well, as we look at the Bud Light starting lineups on the Sacramento side, you will see that Hedo Turkoglu is the one taking Webber's plays, along with Divac, Peja Stojakovic, Doug Christie, and Mike Bibby. Dallas with their familiar five: Steve Nash, Michael Finley, Eduardo Nahara, Dirk Nowitzki, and Rafe LaFrentz, with Nick Van Exel, 36 points in the last game, waiting to come off the bench. All square at one as they were last year. Both teams averaging just about 240 points a game. So tighten up the track shoes tight. Get ready for a race. Joey Crawford is the official, who is the crew chief, along with Hugh Hollins and Mike Callahan working the game tonight. A lot of excitement here in Sacramento as the playoffs come back. The only team not to lose on its home floor this postseason. The Kings start with it. Game 2, 2 on Nahara, and Van Exel coming in.
Well, Nahara's a physical player. He's not going to shy away from contact. And they're even going to get smaller now with Nahara heading out and Nick Van Exel coming in. In essence, Dirk Nowitzki will play the center position, both offensively and defensively, although there's nothing stoic about him on the offensive end.
Oh, he's battling with Vlade Divac, and Divac picked up the offensive foul. So Nick Van Exel inserted into the game after that Divac foul, and Nick just had one of those Nick Van Exel unconscious evenings. 14 of 19 from the field, 36 points. Most points by a reserve in more than a decade in the NBA playoffs. Earl Bailey was the last to go that high coming off the bench. Well, everything went in for Dallas in Game 2. Nothing going in right now. Van Exel trying to make it happen. Nice drop for Dirk. And Nowitzki, only Mav who's on pace here. A mismatch covered by Bibby, but it was knocked away. The foul on Stojakovic doesn't cost anything. Christie the miss, and Van Exel comes away with the rebound. What would you like to see Dallas do on this end? Well, that's a little bit of it, right?
You got to get going. I mean, they're a team that has to play on the edge a little bit. And shots like that, they're going to make some, they're going to miss some, but that's the way they have to play. A
miss by Nowitzki. It's 5-on-4. LaFrentz behind the play. On the go, Christie. No, no. quick. Nick, 2. Sacramento's doing what Dallas did. After the makes, it's like over midcourt and 3 seconds on the clock. And they're shooting like they did in the last game. Back for quarter number 2 in the state capital of California. Arco Arena, Sacramento, with Michelle Tafoya and Tom Colbert. Both he and Nowitzki matched with a baker's dozen.
And now you know why he was waving off Keon Clark in the pick and roll.
Van Exel drives the quick hit, draws it all to leave Finley free. So a much better shooting quarter here for the Mavs thus far.
And we can't get too comfortable with a 15-point lead because the exchange rate when these two teams play is about a 6.5-point lead right now.
6.5 is the exchange. Okay.
Yes.
That's it. 2.5 for one. LaFrentz, that's 2. He misses. Nash's hustle keeps this possession alive. All 4 of the big scorers on the floor for Dallas. Nowitzki knocked down, missed the 3. Possession kept alive for the second time by Nash. Can't give them too many chances, can you?
There's Steve Nash in there. Moses Malone scrapping up on the offensive boards. Wow.
Yeah. 14 from 3. And since Peja has sat, Dallas has chipped 4 off the lead. Keon Clark is talking to Rafe LaFrentz as he's making his move. The former Mav Jackson turns it over. Van Exel has Nash. He also has the ability to take it himself.
And just like that.
Nice exchange rate call.
And you got to have somebody rotate over to the pick and pod because he can shoot.
LaFrentz missed it. Finley, another offensive rebound. Dallas has been great on the offensive glass this quarter. 7 for the game. Finley for 3. Flow. So a great 3-point shooting from the Mavs.
Well, they do it in many ways. They do it off the pick and roll. They do it off the break. They're all guys out there that are capable of drawing and kicking the defense. You'll double down on them, and they all get it off quickly, too. You get it out, they got their feet set. They're going to shoot it. And even if you have them covered, as Finley showed you, they can rise up over you and still drain a triple.
Minutes. Adrian Griffin back in the game to join LaFrentz, Nowitzki, Nick Van Exel, and Steve Nash.
Adrian Griffin may be the only guy in the court right now that wouldn't have fired that shot. And did.
LaFrentz lost Bibby with that little bump there, and Van Exel hits another 3. Oh, Nick is just 4 of 11 here tonight. 10 points, a couple of triples. And as a team, the Mavs continue to shoot well from behind the arc. It's kept them in it here in the first half. Vlade Divac.
Oh, he's still a guy you get him at point-blank range. Oh, he's just gone over 60, by the way. Point-blank range, he can make that little jump hook.
Well, this thing is tightened really positively for Dallas, though. They're within 4 with a minute to go till halftime. Contact with Griffin and Christie. No foul, but out of bounds. His daughter, Kathy, wife, Mary Kay, and Laura and Caitlin, the other 2 daughters. Everybody's doing okay, Rick told us. So he's thinking of them. We wanted to send them our best as well. This is for the tie. It is a Van Exel 3. And from down 16, Dallas has squared the game at 62. And Nick is fired up. He's talking to Joe Maloof, the owner of the Kings here. 5 seconds the difference. Game and shot clock coming down at the end of the half. 4 to shoot for Jackson in the lane. Nice. Hang in the air as LaFrentz was there defensively. 8 points, 4, 6 boards for Bobby Jackson with a broken bone in his face. LaFrentz to beat the clock. Off the mark. Nowitzki can't keep it alive. It's no basket. And we have reached halftime. Well, the Dallas Big Four, who combined for 103 points in Game 2, have come up with 54 here in the first half of Game 3. So they are on pace once again. 54 of the Dallas 62. The ball did go in with 0-0, thus a mandatory review, but clearly it was in the hands of Nowitzki before the lights came up. Here's Michelle with Mike Bibby.
That you take care of the mothers first. On ABC, though, is the game. Nick Van Exel has been insane. 51 points in the last 3 quarters. He's the reason that the Mavericks are back in this game.
The NBA playoffs continue at Arco Arena in Sacramento. It is Game 3 of the best of 7, a 2-point Sacramento lead, 64-62. Sacramento a blazing 63% from the field. Dallas staying in at Tom with those next 3 lines. 50% from 3. Sorry, bud. Their offensive board's 9-1.
How about shooting 45% and throwing up 62 points? That's amazing. How do you do that? Well, you get a lot more shots than the other team. How do you do that? You get offensive rebounds. And this is not a great offensive rebounding team. They just been scrapping. Steve Nash in there getting offensive rebounds. The offensive rebound doesn't kill you, but what happens after the offensive rebound does? And they've been scoring. 3-point shooting. Are you kidding me? 17 last game, 9 at the quarter this game. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And how the Kings been getting their buckets, getting out in the open court. And when they get out in the open court, they get great spacing. Like right here, freeze it! You look at the spacing right there. All these guys way away from Mike Bibby. Let her run. Christie over to Bobby Jackson. All the guys capable of shooting it and penetrating it. And yes, here's the money ball.
And Rick Adelman's furious with Peja for just hoisting here. Van Exel makes it.
Oh, he's not laughing.
No. Five down. That means, hey, we're slowing down. Give me the big guy in the box and let's run some offense here.
0 turnovers there in the third quarter.
Hard to believe the pace of this game at 91-82. Sack didn't turn it over in the third. Van Exel a 3. So maybe it will be just the even quarters. They were 6 of 10 shooting in the second, 5 of 17 from behind the arc in the first and third.
They'll reverse it and have Nash come set a pick for Nowitzki, which is even doubly difficult because you never see that.
Jackson there defensively to deter. Van Exel got Christie in the air. Nick off the window. That's 5 in the quarter for Van Exel, who had a great scoring second quarter, now has 22 points here on the night. He had 13 in that second quarter.
Time for the Dockers Defender's Edge, and Nick Van Exel, one of 4 Dallas steals.
Nick Van Exel doing it all. How about the nice finish?
Problem is they need more of that now as they trail. Van Exel doing a great job playing the passing lanes. Log on to ESPN.com and vote for the Dockers Defender's Edge. Mike?
Good thing we have 2 sharp guys in the studio. Very hard to find a Dockers defensive edge. Van Exel draws 2. Williams' first shot. A miss. Nash saving in front of the Michigan State sweats-wearing Mateen Cleaves on the bench. Van Exel on the take. 7 in the quarter for Nick. Maybe it's Mateen's lucky set of sweats.
It better be.
Or he was listening to One Shining Moment coming over. 11 points. He hasn't missed a shot tonight. 5 of 5 and 5 rebounds. Van Exel takes Jackson in. Coming to the free throw line. Game's going so fast. There's supposed to be an official timeout at that last whistle. They just got it and go. This is just breakneck pace all 3 games. Entertaining basketball between 2 of the most entertaining teams in the league. They average over 100. They've been over 100 every game. We're going there again tonight. Keon Clark has 11. A difference maker for Sacramento in Game 3. Mark Cuban's had a quiet evening. Nick Van Exel at the line. I know many of you watch the NBA on a regular basis. Some new people come along in playoffs. Got an email from a friend. As you watch Mark Cuban there, who's been silenced a little bit tonight. A friend who emailed me asked me, why does Nick Van Exel stand so far back? To repeat the story, you might have heard Nick did it about 3.5, 4 years ago. He felt like all of his free throws were long. And jokingly, and he said it again tonight, back off a little bit. It's a little more in my range. But the 15-footer's too close for you? He said, yeah, I feel much more comfortable. He says percentage has improved, and it has since he's moved back on the line. Keon Clark, first field goal miss. I hit the shot clock, so it is out of bounds off Sacramento. There have been a few times where we've seen plays that Chris Webber would normally have made fumbled by either Clark or Divac. Van Exel trying to stay hot here in the fourth quarter. 5 3-quarters for Van Exel. Nick has 28 on the night. Nowitzki on the board. Dirk's 17th to go with his 25 points. 90 seconds left. Van Exel posting Bibby. Nick got him in the air, got to the cup, and got fouled. You can follow the NBA legends on NBA.com with the Love It Live playoff tour. Paul Silas, the former New Orleans Hornets coach, will be coaching somewhere undoubtedly in the 2003-2004 season. Of course, a legend, former teammate of Nelly. Van Exel squares the game at 110.
And this is one thing this team does well, is shoot free throws. They may not shoot a lot of them, but when they get up there, they make them. Led the NBA this year in free throw percentage.
Second best ever to the 90 Boston Celtics. Back-to-back 30-point games for Nick Van Exel, who had 36 in Game 2. Best game of this series. We've had 2 blowouts. Now we've got a tight one. Dallas 111, Sacramento 110. Kings ball when we come back. Back here in Arco, Dallas has shot 57% from the field in fourth quarter, making a big impression as they try to win a game on the road and take a 2-1 series lead here in the best of 7. See, the Mavs have been hot in the second and hot in the fourth, and the big reason is Nick Van Exel, who had a 13-point second quarter, equaling it here in the fourth.
Now you can just see him getting off defensively, taking it all the way for the layup. It's just his will to win, his will to play. He's never afraid to take a big shot, won't pass up a shot, and he grade his own shots. He's been doing it from the outside, doing it from the inside. You see right there, that's just something you just rise up and shoot over somebody, and he's not afraid to take those shots.
Obviously a non-starter, but he did have good minutes in the first and third quarter. He had 2 points in the first, 13 in the second, 2 points in the third, now 13 here in the fourth. They come with Raja Bell defensively. 8 to shoot. Christie clears space. The double comes. Stojakovic for a back-breaking 3. Raja Bell gets the board. They say go with 15 seconds. 2-point game. Nelly loves to keep it on the floor. Nash drives. Raja Bell's not going to take it. Van Exel will. 7 to shoot. Van Exel in the lane for the tie. He got it. Timeout Sacramento with 3 8/10 to go. I love when Nelly does that. Keep it on the floor.
Absolutely. You don't give the other team time to set up defense, time to set up some sort of scheme. You get it, you go, and when you have 4 players like he has who can all create and take it, it's to your advantage not to call that timeout.
And a key play by Raja Bell, understanding this isn't a place for me to take that shot, and keeping it alive.
Could this be better? Hey, could this be better? An unbelievable game, unbelievable shots. Big players stepping up. Van Exel's been doing it all quarter. The little teardrop right there in the lane. 15 points in the fourth to send it possibly into OT. I tell you what, with 4 seconds left, unless you can inbound it right to Vlade Divac, you don't really have time to throw it in and set something up. No. So you look for a guy who can create for you.
Went on to win the series in 5. There's a pivotal moment here. 3.8 to go. Divac's taking a lot of leadership on the way out of that huddle. What a game for Van Exel with 32. Joe and Gavin Maloof, the owners, watch on, as does Mark Cuban and Don Nelson and everyone else. Kings have 3 chances to stop it. The Mavs just 1. Christie will inbound. He has Bibby, Divac, Stojakovic, and Bobby Jackson.
You cannot leave Stojakovic in this situation. You got to be on him.
Raja Bell guarding Bobby Jackson. Finley try to deny Peja. Nowitzki, Nash, and Van Exel. It's Bibby in the corner for 2. Off the rim. It's tipped up. Christie got it up. No good. And we will go to overtime. I think that would have counted if it would have gone. He knew he had no time to reset. Well, they did it once in the regular season, once in last year's Western Conference semifinal. They'll do it here. Overtime is next.
For him. But now you got to take advantage of who's Vlade going to guard defensively.
A 3 from Finley. A little defensive confusion there. Christie didn't get over defensively. 113 when we started overtime. 125 as we start overtime 2. Tasia equaling the best game of his NBA career. Nick Van Exel in rare territory. Player coming off the bench to score 30-plus points in back-to-back playoff games. The big 4 for Dallas. Over 100 for the second straight game. And Sean Bradley makes an appearance.
Oh, nice outlet pass.
And Bobby Jackson connects.
Nelly's like, what happened? Are you kidding me?
Complete freeze there.
I give Bradley an assist for that one. There's one hop right there. At Dallas right now, they've just been trying to get the ball to either Van Exel or Nash, let him break the defender down and score or find somebody.
Nick in the lane, gets it, and a foul. Well, it's the 6th period. Nick has had a great second and a fourth, so why not the 6th? And Bibby has fouled out, so Mike Bibby is gone.
Hey, look at Nick Van Exel. Oh, the snarl.
Mike Bibby fouls out, 16 points and 3 assists. Bibby had 9 in the opening quarter, so Sacramento, to win game 3 here, has to do it without Chris Webber and Mike Bibby. Arguably their 2 most important players. Nowitzki trying to front the lob for Vlade. Jimmy Jackson missed it. Rebound 20 for Dirk. Nash with an open lane, cut off by Christie. Find a Van Exel, that's 3. That's good! The amazing Nick Van Exel has 38 in the game. Has fouled out.
I wouldn't forget about Turkoglu either.
Shot clock is off. 20 seconds to go. Sacramento needs a 3 to tie the game. Who's going to take it? They switch with Stojakovic. Bobby Jackson goes to the hole. Didn't get it. Jimmy Jackson on the follow. It's a 1-point game. Now can Dallas inbound it this time? They find Nowitzki.
Got to get somebody.
Van Exel running, and they foul Nick. They come to the line with 8.4 to go. 4 of 5 on the night at the line. 38 points for the game. 76% shooter on the season. Van Exel with that unique free throw style will get a chance here for 2. Sacramento does have a 20, so they can advance the ball in midcourt if he makes both.
And the only trouble you run into here, if he makes both, they can foul before you get off a 3.
39 for Van Exel. Backs off the line, so it's more in his range. Off they go. 3-point game. They're going to do it on the run. Jackson for the tie. Missed it. Rebound, Bell. And did we get a foul call? Yes, we did. So the Dallas Mavericks are on their way to a 2-1 series lead. Missed it. Turkoglu gets the rebound, flings it, and it is all over. The Dallas Mavericks take a 2-1 series lead in double overtime, 141 to 137. They get 116 points from their big 4. Van Exel had 40, Nash had 31, Nowitzki 25, Finley 20. And tomorrow night, Sacramento, a team that won 59 games and had a great regular season, plays with huge pressure to even the series on TNT. With Michelle and Tom, Mike Tirico. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Good night from Sacramento. Off we go immediately to SportsCenter.